Hey guys, my name is Joseph Hoolihan, and lately I've been running into a lot more people trying to sell their home just expecting to be able to get into another home, and that's not the case. Let me tell you why. So in the past couple of months alone, I've had two buyers that have actually sold their homes, their current homes that they were living in, without getting pre-qualified for a new home. Now, what's the problem with this? Well, a lot of people just assume that over the years they've maybe built up some pretty good equity in their existing home and they might have a nice big fat down payment, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 to put towards a new home, and that they just automatically qualify for a new home because, well, I mean, they did before, right? Not exactly. Rates are getting so much higher than they used to be and so much higher than what people had originally with their existing homes that they may or may not qualify for a new home regardless of how much money that they're putting down. About 2 months ago, I ran into a buyer that was so excited to find a new home. They went and sold their existing home, never got pre-qualified. Their realtor, for some reason, never told them to get pre-qualified. The realtor sold their home, and then when they came to purchase their new home, they did not qualify. And so they ended up moving out within about 30 to 45 days into an apartment that they could barely afford because the rates for the apartments were just as high as a new home, and the apartment wasn't anything near what they were expecting in a new home and what they needed in a new home. And so I just had a buyer come back to me that visited me a few months ago that was interested in selling their home, didn't have the best credit, but actually had a really good rate on their existing home. They had a little bit of money saved, but they had expected to be able to sell their home for a good amount of money, that they would have enough money to put down on a new home, maybe roughly $70,000 to $100,000, and they just automatically assumed that they would qualify. When I went over the current rates and what the expectation was, they realized maybe they shouldn't sell their home, and I hadn't seen them for maybe 2 months. Just the other day they came back, they have their home under contract, they're super excited, the realtor is super excited, and they claim they got pre-qualified for a new home, but at a rate that isn't realistic. And so I said to them, well, what happens if the rate is a lot higher than you expect and you don't qualify? And they didn't really have an answer. Most likely what's going to happen is they're going to be in the same case as what the other buyer was, and they're going to have to rent for a year or two to build up their credit, to build up their money saved, and then maybe buy a home. Hopefully by then the rates have gone down. But what we're seeing here in Florida especially is that pricing keeps rising and rates keep rising, and this is causing some problems with first-time home buyers that are trying to get into their very first home, and now they're not qualifying because the payments are so high. So if you're an existing home that you own and you are looking for a new home, make sure to get pre-qualified before you go and sell your home, because nobody wants you to end up homeless. It's important to do that because it'll tell you what your buying power is for the new home and if you actually qualify for that new home with today's rates. One big thing that I've noticed is that people aren't expecting the rates to be as high as they are and the payments to be as high as they are. And even with relatively high down payments to get their mortgage as low as possible, their actual monthly payment is much higher than what they were expecting, and in a lot of times much higher than their existing payment on their existing home, and they can't afford it. Make sure if you're looking for a new home that you get pre-qualified first, especially before you sell your existing home, and you'll have a lot better luck getting into that new home. If I can help you find a new home, please feel free to reach out. Don't forget to like and subscribe below. I'd be happy to get you all the information that you need regarding a new home, and I'll always point you in the right direction. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.